2018-65. That's a change order on the final payout to Devlin and Associates. They completed all the demolition at the water plant. That's their final payment. They had some changes at the very end there that increased that cost to $17,000. That cost was appropriated into that grant, so it's not any of our general fund money. It's actual grant money that was already provided through the county through Solid Waste Authority. 2018-63 is a resolution agreeing to accept the city's selection of a consultant on the Brownsfield Assessment Grant Project. And 2018-64 is a resolution, I'm sorry, let me back up. 2018-62 is a contract that will complete the tiki bar renovations on the external part of the restaurant. And then 2018-63, again, is the consultant approval to accept the assessment selecting an organization to consult the Brownfield Assessment Grant along with the city. And then 2018-64 is a resolution to accept Lincoln Marine Incorporated to repair all of the pump out stations at the marina. And that is all of our resolutions. And then of course we have a proclamation Ventura signed honoring Ricky Jackson's accomplishments here in the city of Pahokee as an NFL, or being recognized as an NFL player, being from the city of Pahokee as well. So those are our resolutions and our proclamations. We have no presentations tonight, no old or new business that I'm aware of at this time, Mayor. If there are any discussions on those resolutions, I can certainly entertain it, or I can give you a brief update on some of the city activity. I provided that in a bi-weekly report earlier today, but I can review it, Mayor, if it pleases the commission at this time.
Okay.
Okay. We're still working with a financial entity to bring to the commission a financial package for the renovations of the football field. There are some prerequisites that the city attorney is continuing to work along with the city financial director with this financial entity to secure the funding. And once we secure that, we'll bring that to your attention for approval. The city gymnasium, I actually got a call from the county. They're still working through their processes of scope of work, surveying. It's their project. They will oversee it and put the bid out. So we're sort of waiting on them to complete that package. I anticipate probably maybe a late January start. I'm hoping they can get a bid package out on the street before early November, mid-November, stay out for 30 days, and then additional approval has to be done. And then when you run into the holidays, you make those assessments, you're probably looking at a late January start before that construction begins. The old hospital, we're moving as quickly as possible to close that deal with the potential buyers. Again, the city attorney and myself are working through all the prerequisites and getting them the information that they need so we can again bring that to your attention for approval. I think there was a walkthrough today and that went very well. We provided them some additional information like the asbestos survey that was, asbestos test that was conducted a couple of years ago. And there's some additional documents that they were requesting, and they have those documents now. So hopefully we can wrap this up fairly soon, Mayor. Hopefully by the next commission meeting, we'll have some really good news for that deal. Veterans Day program is scheduled for November 12th. November 12th is the day after. I believe most of us will be returning from a out-of-town trip. November 12th is actually a holiday for staff, but we still will have a Veterans Day program from 9 to 11 that morning, Mayor. We tried to do it earlier that week before, but as you know, we're pretty much won't be available. We'll be out of town. So we had to select that actual day, Veterans Holiday, to do the program. Turkey giveaway is November 19th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon for Thanksgiving. We'll give away 75 turkeys. Glazed Diabetes Health Fair will take place on November 3rd at Pahokee High School. That subsequently is the same day that we have Mukbo. So that's going to be a busy day around Pahokee High School and the football stadium. Outside of that, Mayor, that's it. We're nearing the end of this project here at the old Pahokee High School. They have to put the front door on. We're putting new fencing as well on the south side of the building. We had to take a tree down. There's some additional aesthetics that they have to do, but it's looking good. Maybe 2 or 3 more weeks there. The Marina project, the restroom, we are adding a sewer line and not septic like someone thought. And that project that's the last piece of that project, is to run that sewer line out to that new restroom on the public side. We don't have a timeline on that. As far as any additional things at the Marina, of course, the Tiki Bar, there's some work that has to be completed inside the restaurant that went unfinished. And we feel that the same contractor doing the Tiki Bar will be able to get a contract for the inside as well. It's just some minimal stuff, nothing significant above, you know, a couple of $1,000s, I believe, in completing that project. And of course, the deck. They hit a roadblock with the deck, but the engineers and the contractor that's actually going to build the deck came up with a alternative plan of how to ensure that when they build the deck, it's of code and standard and safety. So they presented that to the engineers. The engineers feel that it's a good plan moving forward, and so they'll resubmit some plans to building, planning, and zoning and get those approved by our building inspector, and they'll keep moving forward with that. I'm hoping they can finish that by Tri-Cities Barbecue. I'm hoping all the projects can be finished by Tri-Cities Barbecue, and we won't have any construction occurring the first week of December, but that's pushing it, but we'll see. Commissioner's Park is looking really good. We have a more difficult time keeping people out of the park when it's closed at night than trying to finish the project. They've assessed the splash pad, and we felt that we replaced all the piping there, of course, and we wanted to replace some of the actual parts of the splash pad, but that's a different cost. We can always come back and add that later. We have to finish the monuments, the memorial, and put the shelter add a shelter to the pavilion. And I think we have to test the lights. I don't know if the lights are coming on at night. They are coming on. That's great. And that's really about it with that part. There's some things that kind of stick out to me that I don't like, and there are changes here and there, like fencing around the pumps, the new fence around the splash pad. That's a different contractor, and we'll bring that contract to you probably at the next commission meeting. We're just waiting for get 2 quotes on that, and we'll be ready to go. We put a new entryway gate to that park, so at 8 p.m. it will lock, it will close. You can still walk from Bacon Point Road and play until the lights go off, but you won't be able to drive cars back there at midnight and sort of hang out and do our teenage thing. So, but it's looking really, really good. I got a phone call from a guy that played on those courts years ago and got a tennis scholarship, and he's from Pahokee, and I forgot his name, but I got to call him back. I have it written down, and he was really, you know, impressed with what we've done over there, and he wants to help bring back a tennis program to Pahokee. So we're looking at that through Parks and Recreation. Outside of that, Barfield Highway project, again, that's in the engineering stages. That's sort of, we can't control that because it's a project along with FDOT, and our engineers are working with FDOT engineers, and so they're in the pre-planning stages of getting a bid out on the street. So that project, you know, it's going to take a couple of more months before it can come online, so please be patient with us. It's been a long time coming, but they're aggressively moving forward and trying to get a bid on the street so they can get that project started. Glade Citizensville, I haven't been out there lately, but I know they're continuing to work, you know, daily on that project. There are some things that one of the citizens addressed, and I didn't call him back on that, and it was about surveying and the property lines, and I didn't get back with this particular citizen on that, but I did get your message, and I relayed it to our survey team and the engineers that you had some questions about the property lines, and we want to make sure we do that, you know, properly. So I didn't forget about that. And that's about it, Mayor. We're getting ready for a new legislative year, and I'll bring a new legislative package to this commission, and hopefully we can get some more money in here and get some more projects done. November 4th, there is a early voting campaign that will be hosted at the Town Center Cafe by the League of Women Voters. I just wanted to make that announcement. I think it's from 1 to 5. Okay?
What day?
November 4th. That's a Sunday.
What is it?
It's
Early voting.
early voting drive. I think they're trying to get people to the polls that day, but they want to sort of make the Town Center Cafe a headquarters, you know, for that day. I don't know if they'll be going out to churches and getting buses or whatever, but they didn't give me the details. They just say they'll be at the Town Center Cafe, and it could be just urging people to go to the polls early.
And again, you say the time may be?
1 to 5.
Okay, 1 to 5.
Yeah. There'll be music, and I guess Town Center Cafe has decided to provide some desserts. So.
Any updates on the gym?
Yeah, that was my first report.
Okay.
I heard from the county, and there's no timeline on when they'll get the bid out. I'm projecting that that project will probably start late January, because if you look at the holiday season coming up, a bid has to be on the street for at least 30 days, I believe. Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, at least 30 days on the street. And then after that, another 15 days, I believe, to 30 days to select a vendor. Then it goes to the county commission for approval. So you're probably looking late January before a contractor gets his hands on that gymnasium. But it'll be a fast project, you know, 3-4 months. You know, hopefully by next summer enrichment program, we'll be in the gym. Probably before then. Yeah. But again, that's a county project, and we can't control. I can only continue inquiring about them making it a priority to get the bid on the street, and I have to a particular county department. So, yeah.
Clerk, would you let the record reflect that Commissioner Walker has arrived for the workshop?
That's it, Mayor, for me.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
We have a little time before our regular scheduled commission meeting. We're going to start with commissioners' comments or concerns at this time, if they have anything they would like to add to the workshop. And I'll start with Vice Mayor Murphy.
I have none at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Walker.
I do, but I have a whole on hold.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
okay.
what I'm saying, I don't have anything to say. Oh, thank you.
Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You asked me to get out some type of draft preliminary agenda for Friday's.
The retreat, right.
Get it. I sitting on my computer. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna go back to my office before I go home, and I'll send it. It's a draft, so I did put one together.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. City Attorney, have any preliminary discussion you want to bring forth at this time?
Sure. We went to court last week on the Perez versus the city matter, and the item was postponed. And it was postponed because our supervisor of elections very diligently found out that the night before she found out at 7:30, I found out that Sarah Perez had re-registered to vote in Martin County. And we felt that because she's no longer a resident and elector of the city, she couldn't hold office in the city even if she were to win the lawsuit. So we brought that matter to the court's attention, and the court basically wanted both sides to have an opportunity to brief that issue, and consequently delayed the trial until December. So that's where we are on that.
Postpone.
Postponed until December.
help me understand what the purpose, if she's registered in Palm Beach County.
That was exactly my point that I brought to
Okay.
the court's attention, but because it came up, I found out about it at 7:30 the night before, so I couldn't bring it up any other way than just orally to the court at the beginning of the hearing. So the other side didn't have notice, and then they wanted the opportunity to respond to it and brief it, so the court postponed it.
Okay. I don't understand, but okay.
We didn't either.
Commissioner Mervin, Commissioner Hill were present for the trial, ready to go, and Commissioner Hill did a great job in presenting her position to the court. And anyways, that was sort of a trial run. We're gonna have the real thing in December.
Okay.
Looking forward to the conclusion of that, so we can move forward and move on. Okay. Having known further business that need to be brought to our attention for this workshop, I'll call this workshop adjourned, and we'll convene for our regular commission meeting in about 7 minutes. Thank you.
Mayor Bass.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner
City Attorney, are you ready?
Yes, Mayor.
City Clerk,
Yes, sir.
City Manager,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Hill.
Commissioner Hill.
Trying to make sure she's still here.
Yes, I am here, Tom.
Thank you. Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
Present.
Thank you. I call this City Commission of the City of Pahokee regular commission meeting of Tuesday, October the 23rd, 2018, to order at 6:35. May we please stand for the invocation given by Minister Anthony Jackson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for assembling us here today. We ask that you bless our city officials as we take care of the business of our city. Thank you for just giving us another day. For truly, this is the day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad therein. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab.
Present.
Commissioner Everett. Commissioner Hill.
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
Present.
Commissioner Walker.
Present.
City Manager.
Here.
City Attorney.
Present.
Deputy Denman.
Present.
Interim City Clerk present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and thank each of you for being here tonight to participate in our regular commission meeting of October the 23rd, 2018. Commissioner Hill is on the phone, and Commissioner Everett is absent. His father has been ill, and he's, I think, by his hospital bedside. So we're just gonna move along our agenda as presented. First, we have the additions, deletion, and approval of the agenda item. City Manager, at this time, do we have any additions to our agenda?
Yes, Mayor. For consent agenda, we have Resolution 2018-65, a resolution for the City Commission to approve change order attachment Exhibit A. That is the final payout to Devland Corporation, who did the demolition of the old water plant. That's their final payment, and we'll be concluding that project upon that payment and delivery. For resolutions, you have 2018-63. That is a resolution presenting a consultant for the Brownsfield Assessment Grant Project to work along with the city. And then you have Resolution 2018-64. That is a contract to complete the remaining repairs at the Tiki Bar at the restaurant. 2018-64. And then we have a proclamation, entryway sign honoring Ricky Jackson's accomplishments as an NFL football player and, of course, Hall of Fame inductee. That's all for additions, Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commissioners, are there any additional add-ons at your request?
Mayor, I have one. I have, if it pleases the commission to add Mr. Robert Boudreaux on under presentation. And also we have the area superintendent, Mrs. Moore here, under presentation.
Okay, City Commissioners, having heard the add-ons requests and having the regular agenda presented to you, what's your pleasure?
I would like to accept the the agenda with the add-ons under the presentation, also the one that the city manager also have listed.
I entertain a second.
I second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker for the adoption of the agenda with the add-ons. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Commissioner Everett. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Hill.
Okay, we'll try to contact Commissioner Hill again, but at this point, the motion for the add-on and approve of the agenda passes by a unanimous vote at this time, 3-0.
Mary Babby. Yes.
She's back?
No.
You got to vote.
You
Yeah.
got
I'm
the vote.
sorry.
Say yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passed by 3-0 vote. And just for the record, let the record reflect that we have lost Commissioner Hill, but we will try to get her back on the phone. Okay, we're going to continue on with our agenda. Next on the agenda is the citizen comments. You must have a comment card completed. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any citizen comment card completed?
At this moment, regarding the agenda items, no.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have our public service announcement. You also must have a public service comment card completed. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any public service comment card completed?
Yes, we have one from Ms. Sanquetta Cowan.
Ms. Cowan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sanquetta Cowan, good evening, 1548 Singletary Avenue. I'm just here this afternoon with a public service announcement. You may have been seeing these up around the city on November 3rd, the morning of the Muck Bowl from 10 to 2, Delta Sigma Theta. We're having a diabetes health fair. We did it in Belgrade last year. I advocated for it to come to Pahokee this year, so it'll be coming to Pahokee this year, and it's going to be from 10 to 2. And we have a lot of sponsors on here, and we're going to have a lot of good diabetes information. We're going to have doctors there. We're going to be giving, they're going to be giving out different machines for diabetes as well, and all kind of giveaways, health cookbooks, fruits, vegetables. So I'm asking for your support to please come out, support the activity. It's going to be from 10 to 2 at Pahokee High School in the gym. And I'm also asking for a donation from the city as well to support this activity. Well, from the commissioners, City Manager Williamson. Thank you. Oh, yes, and we're also going to be giving away Muck Bowl tickets as well. Yes, we're going to be giving away Muck Bowl tickets and all kind of goodies. November 3rd, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Are you asking for a donation from the commission?
Yes, ma'am, from the commission. Yes, I want money. Yes,
She wants money from us.
yes.
No, commission.
From the commission, not you individually. So I just need a motion for that. Thank you.
At this time, I entertain a motion. Normally for community requests, we do try to give a minimum of $100 for an organization who's having a community event.
So move.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Walker and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin that we donate, the City Commission of the City of Pahokee donate $100 to the Diabetes Health Fair to be provided on November the 3rd here in the City of Pahokee. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
Yes.
Commissioner Everett. Commissioner Hill. Mayor Babb.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to donate $100 to the health fair has been approved by a unanimous 3-0 vote. Thank you, Ms. Cowan. Now we have the, do we have any additional comments cards?
Yes, we do. Angela Moore, topic is county
You want to do that
improvement.
on the there, you want to do it on the presentation, you want to do it now? Since we're
You
here?
you want to do your presentation now, Ms. Moore, Dr. Moore? Okay. If you need more than the 3 minutes because you're going on the comments, we'll allow you that opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Bass and Vice Mayor Mervin and commissioners and elected officials. I appreciate you giving us an opportunity to speak to you once again. We were here in September where we had an opportunity to introduce our entire Glades region to you and also introduce or reintroduce the principals in this Pahokee region to you as well. So we do have one of the principals who wasn't able to attend that night. She's here and she's going to come up also with her team for a brief presentation on the IB program. But the pamphlets that are being handed out right now deal with the school referendum that's on the ballot for the November 6th election. So we wanted to make sure that within this time period where early voting has started and also before the November 6th election, we remind you that this is on the ballot for our Palm Beach County School District. And you may have questions about how this referendum is going to impact our schools. We know that we currently have teachers in positions who are fine arts teachers and some of our elective teachers who may be impacted by this. We also know that this referendum is going to address school safety as well as mental health awareness for our students, which is a very important component because it truly takes us looking at our students' social, emotional learning as well as their academic learning. And so all of these items are listed on the pamphlets that I've passed out to you, but we want to make sure that you once again have this information. The district has been running ads throughout our region as well as in Palm Beach County so that they're addressing the voters. I cannot tell you how to vote, but I can tell you that without this referendum, it will impact our schools. We currently have an IB program in our schools in Pahokee, the only IB program in the Glades region. And so we have our elementary school through our middle and high school, which has a program. Teachers who are part of that IB program will be impacted if this does not pass because it is a part of, depending on what their specialty is, some of those teachers may be teaching in some of those elective classes that would be impacted by that. In addition to that, last Thursday we had an opportunity to recognize students who scored a level 5 on the one of the FSA assessments or AP or ACE exams. And so, as a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to meet this young lady right here who indicated that her granddaughter was recognized at that event. We had over 100 students who scored a level 5. We had about 10 to 12 students who scored a perfect score. And I want to thank Mayor Babb and also Commissioner Mervin for being a part of the Tri-Cities committee because of the work that they're doing. They're constantly looking at ways to recognize our students for the work that they do. And that's a big deal. To score a level 5 on an assessment is great. To score a perfect score, that's something totally different. And so we want to make sure that we continue to support our schools and supporting those schools. Also, again, this school referendum is a part of that, and we want to make sure that all of you are aware of that. And so if you're in a position to vote, we want to make sure that you have this information in your hands so you can make the best decisions for your family. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Abrams to come forward. She is the principal of Pahokee Elementary, as well as her assistant principal, Ms. Rigsby, as well as Ms. Moreland, who is the IB coordinator, and they're going to share with you briefly just information regarding their schools. And I'd also like to recognize Dr. McTier, who's the instructional superintendent. So for those of you who may not have been at the September commissioners meeting, we had an opportunity to introduce her here as well. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, and always know that I'm here to support this community as well as all of the schools in our Glaze region. I'm a phone call away if you need anything. Most of you have my number, so you can give me a call, but I definitely want to make sure that we're moving our schools in the right direction. When I look at the 3 students who are sitting here, definitely want to make sure that we continue to work hard to make sure that our students have everything that they need to be successful, and we're definitely striving for greatness. So thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, we're going to do this really quick. I am Dr. Abrams, and most of you already know me. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for your support. Practically everything that we have going on, we have someone from the city that is in attendance. First day of school, our PLA, we've had them to come and be very supportive of what we have. Even when we had our community meeting and we were introducing our IB program, we had representatives from the school there as well. Ms. Mervin, we really love you guys and what you guys are doing to support our program. Just a brief overview of what we have going. I have Ms. Rizzi here as my assistant principal. We also have Ms. Moreland, who's the magnet coordinator. We have Ms. Tasha Tomlin, who's also our parent liaison. And we have Ms. Sanquetta Cowan over there, who's our math coach. And she's going to also be coming back to you guys because she's our money person as well. And she's really good at that. So we would like to just tell you, just let you know what our team is doing. Ms. Moreland, we only have like 38 seconds, so we're gonna have to go really quick. But I do want to just say thank you again. Tomorrow we have a PLA, which is a parent leadership academy, a learning academy for our parents, and it's going to be from 5:30 to 7. We're going to be doing some workshops for our parents in reading and math in all grade levels. You guys are welcome to come. We would really like for you guys to come because there's a lot of things that you guys need to know about our school, about what our kids need to do to learn and to grow and to get better. And if you come, we're going to give you some activities to take home, some resources that you can use to help your child learn and to help make them a better learning experience. I tried to stay. I'm there, you know. And I know the clock was ticking, but I was telling Ms. Moreland, I know we got 3 minutes all together. She had a presentation about the IB, but we'll get a chance. We'll be back, and we'll get a chance to
I had mentioned earlier, though, that we was going to extend the time a little to allow you to.
Oh, okay, because I was talking really fast, all right?
Just a little.
I was trying to get in.
Talk.
But Ms. Moreland has very briefly, she's not going to go over all of it, but just a little overview of what we're doing with IB so that you guys can know for the ones who didn't do it, who were not able to attend our community meeting. So we just want to give you a brief synopsis of what we have going on for our IB program and some of the things that we have going on for our school.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Again, I'm Cassandra Moreland. I'm the new IB coordinator. This is my 2nd year. And my request is, as part of the primary years program, our students are learning Florida standards in unison with our IB units. And we want students to be able to see the connection to what they're learning to what's happening in the world, both locally and globally. And that's where you all will come in. We would like more community members and leaders to come to visit our classes and students to give more support by encouraging our students and let them see the real world connections to what they're learning. We also will be having 2 events, our annual Youth Author Celebration and Young Authors Celebration and 5th grade exhibition. For the young authors, which will probably be in the earlier part of the year, we would like volunteers to come and listen to our young authors and give feedback and encourage them to continue writing. We also need judges who will score their books so that the winners can be celebrated in our Young Achievers Award. Then we have our 5th grade exhibition. We need community members that can come out at least once a week for about 1 or 2 months to help students research their self-selected projects. Then at the end of May, we will present in the evening to their fellow classmates, family, and community members. I encourage all of you to come visit our classes and become a volunteer. If you're interested in volunteer to either Young Authors or the exhibition, I have a form that you can write your name on. Thank you, and I'll pass it back around.
Again, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any additional public service announcement card completed at this time?
Yes, Ms. Regina Boland.
Good evening, Regina Boland from well, tonight I'm from Lower, I'm not from the chamber. I just wanted to let everybody know we're doing an entrepreneurship small business workshop, and it's going to be on October 25th, 5:30 in the evening until 8 p.m. It'll be held at Crossroads Community Center, which is at 50 Levee Road in South Bay. And in case you don't know, that's kind of right there by the dike. So the guest speaker is Larry Orenstein from SCORE, and he's a retired senior vice president of Hess Corporation. So if you're thinking about starting a business or you have just started a business, please come out, find out everything you need to know to help you be successful in that business. It's free, and we'll have some nice refreshments. Okay? Thank you much.
That's a way.
25th, Regina?
25th, yes, ma'am.
That's a way to celebrate your birthday.
Thank you, Regina. Madam Clerk, are there any additional public service announcement?
Mr. Anthony Jackson.
Good evening to everyone, to our commissioners and our mayor, city manager. I just want to send an invitation on the behalf of the Musical Arts Consortium of the Glades, where I'm the founder and director of bands and ensembles. We have established the Glades Community Band here in Pahokee. Well, it's for all of the cities around the lake. If you have marched in the bands of Mr. Willie Pyfrom, Mr. Hollis Davis, Mr. Robert O'Lampy, any of these musical names that I'm calling out, I'm extending an invitation that you come out with us on every Wednesday, starting at 6:30 until 8. We're at Pahokee High School Band Room, and we're just making music. And the Musical Arts Consortium of the Glades is basically a nonprofit organization that is standing for music advocacy and reestablishing the musical culture here in the Glades and around the lake area. We're not only working with kids, but we are working with adults. So we want to give everyone that has a musical gift an opportunity to participate in some of the ensembles that we have established here. So once again, the Glades Community Band, which will play an assortment of music and different genres of music. We meet every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8 at Pahokee High School Band Room. And I wanted to extend an invitation to the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And what if you never played any instrument before?
Well, if you never played an instrument, you can still come and we'll find one for you. Even if it's a kazoo, we'll do something for you. All right.
Mr. Jackson, when do y'all expect a performance, breaking out party? Mukbo would be a great time.
It is actually going to come out. You let the cat out the bag. But
Okay.
yes, sir, we'll be performing at Mukbo.
Thank you, sir.
Auxiliary, if you want to throw the flag, Julie going to.
City Clerk, at this time, do we have any additional comments, cards in reference to public service announcements?
Mr. Budo.
Mr. Budo.
First of all, I'd like to, I'm a conductor, so I don't really need a mic, but congratulate Ms. Moore on what you're doing. It is really so important today. When I went as a professor to Duquesne University some years ago, in McKeesport, they had 180 people in the band. Today they have 15. So what you're doing here is just wonderful and remarkable. Let me give you, if you have a moment, I'll give you a quick who I am. I grew up as a son of a poultry farmer in Massachusetts. We had a 7,500 Rhode Island Reds, and I wanted to be a chicken farmer. But I made a mistake. I picked up a trumpet. And I started playing in polka bands when I was quite young in the Rhode Island Philharmonic. Then I went to Boston University, where I actually majored in poetry. Graduated playing in the Boston Brass Quartet, and then went on to Juilliard when I was 18. Got a couple more degrees, played trumpet at the old Metropolitan Opera when it was down on 39th Street, in the Edwin Franco Goldman Band in Central Park, etc. Then was a Fulbright scholar at Paris. Came back, I tell you this all for a reason, came back and decided, am I going to be a trumpet player or am I going to be a teacher? And I decided on the latter, and my first professorship was at Ithaca College, and then I headed up the program at Lehigh University, and they said, if you have a dream, go to Pittsburgh. Okay, and so there was an opening at Duquesne University, and I met a fellow by the name of H.J. Hines II, the ketchup guy, right? And my board consisted of, for the Dream, Dave Roderick, who was chairman of U.S. Steel, Don Burnham of Westinghouse. Those companies don't exist anymore. They're just gone. But they made all of this dream come possible. I am so pleased to be here and to be part of your wonderful community. I say that in all honesty. We built a floating art center, 195 feet long, 38-foot beam, double hull for ocean-going service. We were the first U.S. flag vessel to go to Leningrad since the time of Lenin. We went up to the Seine to Paris for the French bicentennial. We went to 10 cities in Ireland. And now this wonderful boat is in your backyard. And it can make dreams happen. Just like it made dreams happen for me, it can make dreams happen for your young people. And so I am so pleased that it's here. I'm going to be very honest now. We still have certain problems in Pittsburgh. You know, there are communities of color, and here you're one people. I can't believe it. It is so, this is America. This is, you know, it is really, Pahokee is America. I'm just so overwhelmed by what's happening here. And so that's about the boat, okay? And we're going to need help with the boat. And Regina's in charge. She's going around with a tin cup today, and she's trying to get money for it. But I have, if we can get the funding for the boat settled, I would like to establish, with your help, a same program that I had in Pittsburgh. We hired 9 teachers. The orchestra had flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, French horn, etc. We went into 8 school districts. Each school, we go in from 8 to 10 in the morning and have 4 students for each of the teachers. Okay? We had over 400 youngsters. 5-year program. When they graduated, they were getting full scholarships at Michigan, Michigan State, Eastman School of Music, Colgate, etc. You have some wonderful young people here. I have a niece that just graduated, has a $135,000 debt. University of Maryland today just is offering a bassoonist a full scholarship plus $15,000 because they can't find it. You can't have an orchestra without a bassoon. So that's once the boat's taken care of, then hopefully, with all of your help, I'm going to bring some 12 teachers here who are going to become part of this whole area and start teaching, and we'll have over 300 youngsters. And I guarantee you, at the end of 5 years, 60 or 70% of the kids that want to go to college will get free scholarships. Thank you so much for being Pahokee. And I'm here for one other reason. I expect to become a citizen of Pahokee in the next few years.
Mr. Boudreaux, do you have a picture of the floating amphitheater? A lot of them don't know what you say when you say boat. They don't know what you're saying.
Where's the, oh, here.
It's out on the lake, but y'all probably haven't.
Oh, okay. Is that green? Oh, green
Not
light.
yet.
It says power. Is the green light on?
Yeah.
Turn it. There we go.
Okay. And you may have to turn up the sound a little bit. This may, I never trust these things. It's loading.
And maybe you can put your mic a little towards, yeah, that may help a little.
This is going up the Seine River on the way to Paris for the French bicentennial.
The commission have saw that before.
That's the boat. Can you see it?
Yeah, you just showed it to us.
We had to till we placed the moor. We moored under Notre Dame for a whole week. That's just a joke. Then we went by the Eiffel Tower, and when I was a Fulbright scholar, I lived 2 blocks from the Eiffel Tower at Avenue de Souffle. And this is the boat there. That's what she looks like. That's where the shell. That's the shell open, that's the orchestra in there. And then we're off to Ireland. We played in 10 cities in Ireland. Cork, Belfast, Dublin. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what it's about. And what kind of wonderful thing can happen when our youngsters have learned to play well and perform on this. And we can take these folks to Miami, where we've been, Fort Lauderdale, to Hollywood, wherever. Okay, I'm sorry to take all that time, but.
No problem. Thank you. We certainly want to invite you back for a more in-depth presentation. He gave a presentation to each of the city commissioners individually, and he's a world traveler, and he decided to anchor here in Pahokee. We're so blessed and so fortunate to have him. I think at this time, Vice Mayor Mervin want to make a motion just for general support of this program.
Yes, ma'am, I would like to just make a motion that we would, a resolution that we would be behind Mr. Boudreaux in support, that the city would support him in the World Amphitheater. That's how you call it, what's the name, Mr. Boudreaux? What's the real name of it?
The American Wind Symphony Orchestra.
The American Wind Symphony Orchestra. So I'd like to put forth a motion that we would do a resolution.
What this resolution would do also, when he go out to seek grant opportunities, to have the city full of biking and support would go a long way. So that's the purpose of our resolution, is to show full support for this endeavor. We have a motion. I entertain a second.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
What, second? A second, I'm sorry. For the discussion. I wasn't able to, opportunity to see the president. I wasn't able to see the presentation, but I'll support the efforts of the
Symphony.
Would add to the resolution tonight is actually a motion to have a resolution prepared at the next meeting. So we'll all be able to look at that resolution and make sure that we're in full support of the language and what it's actually saying. But what Commissioner Walker was stating,
presentation.
The individual presentation that he provided the commission, she didn't have the opportunity to be a part of that. So at some point, I'm quite sure Regina will get together and have him give you a one-on-one presentation too.
Okay, thank you.
So we have a motion by Vice Mayor Mervin and a second by Commissioner Walker for the city to have a resolution in support of this endeavor. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Mayor Babb?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion for the resolution passed by unanimous 3-0 vote. At this time, Madam Clerk, do we have any additional public service announcement cards completed?
We have one final public service announcement card, which is from Ms. Barbara Spence.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good evening.
The city manager and everyone.
I apologize. I thought we were on the agenda for this evening. We wanted to, let me pass these out to everyone. Come and talk with you about the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life.
Is it here, South Bay?
Yes.
Okay.
No, South Bay last year.
Where is it?
Here. Here.
Oh.
Okay. And that's what I wanted to
Thank you very much.
talk about, is getting the official approval from the city of Pahokee to host the Glaze Relay for 2019. I included in the packet a letter which asks for your, first of all, permission to host the relay, and then also to allow us to use the facility, the park over here, as the location for the relay. And then we're asking for you all to appoint a liaison that can work with us as the chairperson for the upcoming year, along with a few other things that we were asking for your assistance with. This, as most of you know, this activity is for the Glaze as a whole, and we go around from each city each year. We change each year. Last year we were, well, this year, 2018, we were in South Bay, and the previous year we were in Belglades. So it is now Pahokee's turn. And we hope that you all will accept it and throw your arms around us, and so we can move forward. Excuse me.
Thank you. We're actually looking forward to this. We do look forward to our turn coming around, and we're excited about it, and we'll be involved 100% with you. We're going to entertain a motion from one of our commissioners to accept the opportunity to host the 2019 Glaze Relay for Life, which will be on May 10th through the 11th. And we also would make a recommendation that either one of our commissioners or one of our staff be allowed liaison person to the relay to help it move forward as they plan the activities for this relay.
So move, Mayor. I put forth that motion.
Okay, are you going to designate a commissioner, or you're going to ask the city manager to
Mayor,
designate the staff?
typically our Department of Community Economic Development, they do our events, so we'll have someone working with their staff.
So we'll delegate Charles and Ms. Adams, or we'll leave that to the
I'm not going
city
to call a
manager.
name, but we'll have a staff available.
Yeah.
Okay. Include, and it should be automatic, but include in there the use of our facilities to be provided. Okay. It's been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin, and I need a second.
Second.
And properly second by Commissioner Walker, that Pahokee would agree to host the Glaze Relay for Life on May 10th through the 11th, and provide a liaison person and the facility to conduct the relay. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to host the Relay for Life passes by unanimous vote. You may continue if you're not wrapped up, Ms. Spence.
I'm finished.
Thank you.
You gave me what I wanted.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming.
I was.
That's it, man.
You had a question?
No.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move to the approval of the minutes of the September the 11th, 2018 regular scheduled commission meeting. What's your pleasure, City Commission?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for our September 11, 2018.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Walker for the approval and acceptance of the September 11, 2018 regular commission meeting. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The minutes of September the 11th, 2018 has been approved. Now we'll move to our consent agenda. The resolution 2018-65. We need to read.
Mayor, this is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the change order on the attached Exhibit A. And it is a change order for A&E Engineering Inc. / Devland Demolition and Site Inc. Change order number 2B in the amount of $17,946, which has to do with the removal of the old water plant and facilities.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners haven't had Resolution 2018-65 properly read into the minutes under the consent agenda item. What's your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda item, resolution 2018-65.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker for the approval of the consent agenda item, which consists of the resolution 2018-65. As a courtesy, call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2018-65 passes by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to, we don't have any ordinance. We'll move to our resolutions under the regular commission agenda. First resolution is Resolution 2018-62. City Attorney.
This is the resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the Community and Economic Development Department's selection of a consultant for the Environmental Protection Agency Brownfield Assessment Grant Project. And the consultant that is being recommended is PPM Consultants, Inc.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners, haven't had Resolution 2018-62 properly read into the minutes. What's your pleasure?
That was 63.
62?
That was
63.
63. Yes, sir.
You got
I
it.
move to adopt the resolution 2018-63.
It says 62 on the agenda, and it says 63 in the actual backup. I believe it is 63, right?
Yeah, it's 63. The contract.
Okay, what we did was we went out of order, and I think that's my fault. I read the wrong one.
Okay. I just wondering, scratching my head there.
Right, so we're on 63 now. The motion is for approval of 63.
Okay.
You got a motion?
I made the motion.
Okay, second. Got confused.
It has been, again, it has been moved by Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker. And this is for Resolution 2018-63.
Okay.
Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2018-63 passes by unanimous vote. Now we entertain Resolution 2018-62. City Attorney.
Yes, Mayor, this is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee approving and authorizing the mayor to execute the campground and marina restaurant tiki bar renovation and repair contract agreement between the City of Pahokee and Pride Quality Construction, Inc.
City Commission, having had Resolution 2018-62 properly read into the minutes. What's your pleasure?
Mayor, we move to accept the resolution 2018-62.
Will entertain a second.
Second. for confusion.
We just temporarily went out of order, Commissioner Walker. We did 63 prior to doing 62. Now we're back in order doing resolution 2018-62.
Okay.
Just kind of got out of order just a bit there.
Okay.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker for the adoption of resolution 2018-62. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2018-62 passes by a unanimous vote. Now we entertain Resolution 2018-64. City Attorney.
This is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee approving and authorizing the mayor to execute the campground and marina pump out repairs contract agreement between the City of Pahokee and Lincoln Marine.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners, having had Resolution 2018-64 properly read into the minutes, what's your pleasure?
I'm sorry, Mayor, I'm just telling David, there's no audio on the citizens are saying there's no audio, they can't not hear the meeting. On the city website, they can't hear. Wait, Mayor, I'm sorry.
Thank you. We're entertaining Resolution 2018-64. Need a motion to proceed.
So move, Mayor, for Resolution 2018-64.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker for the adoption of Resolution 2018-64. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2018-64 passes by unanimous vote.
Never mind, right, I'm confused. Right. It's already done.
That's the conclusion of the resolutions. Now we'll move to our proclamation. We have one proclamation honoring the accomplishments of Hall of Famer Ricky Jackson and honoring him with an entryway sign. City Attorney, could you read the proclamation into record?
Mayor, this is a proclamation regarding the entryway sign honoring Ricky Jackson's accomplishments. Whereas Ricky Anderson Jackson was born in the city of Pahokee on March 20th, 1958, to Van Dock Buren and Leela Pearl Jackson. And whereas Ricky Jackson played football and basketball at the Pahokee High School and graduated in 1977. And whereas he attended the University of Pittsburgh in 1981 and was drafted to the New Orleans Saints in 1981 to 1993. And whereas in 1995, Ricky Jackson won his first Super Bowl ring as a member of the San Francisco 49ers, where he played from 94 to 95. And whereas in 1997, he was inducted to the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame, and in 2007 was named to the Florida High School Athletics Association's All-Century High School Football Team, which selected the top 33 players in Florida's high school football history. And whereas Ricky Jackson was the first player from the city of Pahokee and the first longtime New Orleans Saints player to be inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame in 2010. And whereas on March 13, 2013, he was presented with the Pahokee Hometown Hall of Fame plaque. Now therefore, in recognition and honor of Ricky Jackson's accomplishments, the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, hereby approves this proclamation and authorizes an entry sign to be erected. Done this 23rd day of October 2018. Signed by all the commissioners and the mayor.
City Commission, having had the proclamation honoring Ricky Jackson properly read into the minutes, what's your pleasure?
Motion. I move the motion.
It has been moved by Commissioner Walker and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin for the approval of the proclamation honoring Ricky Jackson with an entryway sign into Pahokee. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The proclamation passes by a unanimous 3-0 vote. And I personally would like to thank each of y'all for that. We talked about looking at some of our other athletes, and somewhere down the line we certainly want to do that. One thing about the entry sign or any type of signage, it makes your city look like a city. We're a football community. We always will be. We got more talent than football, but certainly football kind of stand out there. And I think it's a tourist attraction to have a Hall of Famer and some famous athletes in our community that have lived it here. And gives you just a peek preview of the sign, which I will take credit for creating and designing. Will be here with his Hall of Fame picture and his plaque. And it reads, "Welcome to the city of Pahokee, the hometown of Ricky Jackson, NFL Hall of Famer 2010. And on behind that sign, it'll be another sign when they leave Pahokee saying, it's the same sign, but it's just a back and front. It would say, thanks for visiting Pahokee, Florida, City of Champions." And we do have a lot of champions in the city of Pahokee, so we thank you for that.
Does it say what year you finished here?
On the sign, on the proclamation?
Yes, proclamation.
I don't think it mentioned the year he graduated. That's important. We can add it in if you need it.
I think it's very important.
The year. Carl is part of that class, so he's just trying to get a little plug in for his class. I think it was
77.
77, so we'll add that in there, Mr. Morrison.
That was in the century before this one.
So we have an opportunity to see this sign?
Yeah, the sign, actually what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have to work with our city manager and the public work director. I'm not sure if we're gonna put it up immediately. We're planning on having a ceremony on December the 14th to display this sign, and Rick is planning on, he kind of had word of this probably happening. He's gonna have about 14, 15 different Hall of Famers that come down to Pahokee on that day. A lot of NFL players and a lot of his classmates. They're having a big golf tournament during that time, so he's bringing a caravan of people to Pahokee. So we want to showcase that and just kind of congratulate on him on doing that. So we'll have an opportunity to see that sign just like we did the last entry sign. We'll have a little small brief ceremony on the 14th of December.
What is that? What day is that?
That's a Friday.
A Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
So they, I was thinking we could do that in conjunction with the Christmas parade. But
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea where this sign is going?
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. We'll
Do you have any idea the cost?
of putting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just AJ can put it up. I can help put it
No,
up.
who's designing this? Who's designing
Oh,
this?
who's designing it? A company out of West Palm Beach, and the cost for this sign, for both signs, is $1,000. Just a total of $1,000.
Really?
Just a wooden sign, or it's gonna be a permanent sign?
It's a permanent sign. It's a regular entrance sign, aluminum tin, whatever you want to call the material. It's a regular sign. It's almost similar to the campaign signs we use.
Gotcha.
Just maybe a little larger than that.
Okay.
But it's a well, you can see by the diagram, it's a beautiful sign, and it's gonna have 2 posts, maybe in red or yellow, and that's it.
Yeah, the vendors, this is the vendor's rendition of the sign? This is the vendor's presentation of
He
what?
helped put it together, but I
Right.
designed it.
Oh, no, I'm
I
just
just
asking.
took a picture of him
Right.
and did the wording.
Okay,
So this is actually how the sign will be.
okay, all right.
Look, and we'll even pass you
Give me the bill then.
the bill.
Yeah.
And the city case for that I helped put a little $1 or $2 in there.
I think
We're gonna
we'll
move
be all
in,
right.
move on. Now we're down to the mayor's report, which will be very brief. We have 2 local heroes in Pahokee, and the mayor will present them just for the commission approve and acknowledgement. Present them with a certificate. They helped save a young boy life out in Shive Island. He was playing on some playground equipment out there and fell on a stake and punctured his lungs. And they immediately seeked help for him. The paramedics were called. He was tomahawked into emergency surgery. In addition to those 2 boys receiving a certificate, I would like to present fire rescue with a certificate for their quick action that really saved this young boy's life. I have a few pictures too of the incidents I can just share at our next commission meeting when I present the certificate. But fire rescue went back out there that night to remove that stake and just make sure that that playground area was safe and secure for other kids playing out there. And one of the adults even sent me a picture. They have a, I don't know what it is, almost like a drainage out there that's a hazard. So I'll be speaking with the director of that housing authority out there and see if they gonna be surveyed and make sure that area is safe for kids. Because the playground out there, so any of them can be hurt and seriously injured. Also, we have in our, as city manager indicated in our workshop, we're having a Veteran Day program on November the 12th. That's a Monday, the actual holiday. And one thing that I like to do at this Veteran Day, in addition to the plaques we give out to the selected veterans, and each commission select 2 recipients for those plaques, I like to give out certificates for the Purple Heart recipients in Pahokee, just in honoring them. At our last commission meeting, we approved the city as a Purple Heart city. So that's another additional signage, and that's gonna be a little small signage saying Pahokee, City of Pahokee, Purple Heart City, something like that. So just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that, and ask and encourage you all to come out for the Veteran Day program and honor and celebrate with our veterans.
Mayor, those, you said certificates? All right, they're going to the selected awardees or someone different?
No, those are going to the Purple Heart recipient. I think it's about a total of 10 of them.
Okay.
I think 2 of them is dead or deceased, but I'll try to make
Give me
arrangements
names.
for that. Is another organization that does certificates for veterans, and they would have a little small gift package that they're gonna present to them. So I'm gonna see if I can make arrangements for that. If not, I have the city come make the certificates.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the conclusion of my report. Now we'll move to the city manager report.
Mayor, I have nothing.
Thank you, sir. City attorney report.
No reports tonight.
Thank you, sir. On old business, we have no old business. On the new business, we have no new business.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I want to get out of order here, and there was one last public
Can't
comment
hear you.
card.
Okay.
And
I can hear you.
He said we had an additional public service comment card. I'm not sure. Henrietta Johnson, let my people vote. Comment.
Thank you, Mayor Bab, and to the Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, Lloyd, and everyone else in your respectable place. Sorry that I'm a little late, but my friend is in the hospital and I had to get from West Palm Beach to get here. And I'm here representing Let My People Vote. Let My People Vote is sponsored by the Floridian for a Fair Democratic here in the state of Florida. And I don't know how many of us know, but Amendment 4 is what we are pushing. We have 1.4 million people that have done their time in the state of Florida that are ineligible to vote because we have a statute that felony in 1901, you're going to have it in 2018. It is a lifetime. You're going to always have it. So this amendment is asking voters to go to the poll and think about if a person has done their duties and served their time and they're eligible to be rehabilitated back into society. That's what we're asking. So let our people vote. You'll see that sign that's on the corner here of Lake and what is Main. And you see signs all over with Amendment 4. We're going to have what you call a poll to the party, a party to the poll. Now, I don't know that much about it, but they had Belgrade saying they would do it. South Bay had got on board, and at this meeting, I was just there, and they didn't have anyone from Pahokee. So I said, you know, if they could do it in Belgrade, and if they could do it in South Bay, surely we could do a greater job here in Pahokee. And so I took the responsibility of doing that. We're going to have the party to the poll, going to be located on East Main, right in the 160 Main between Cocoa and Mr. Irvin, that vacant lot, and we're going to decorate it as though we're at a real party. And after you have voted, starting at 12, after you have cast your vote, bring in your voting sticker, you come over to the party, and we'll be doing some, we're going to have some other vendors there, and you just bring in, we're going to be serving food, and the food is only going to be hot dog, chips, and drinks. I'm against food serving it out in the public because I got food poisoning a few months ago and like that. So I'm not going to be bothered with any food that's going to need to be refrigerated or got to have a certain temperature. So we're going to serve hot dogs, chips, and drinks. Mr. Carl Morrison is going to be assisting me. And if anybody would like to donate some drinks, some ice, some whatever, we'll take that. If anybody want to just come and speak for a moment or so, we'll invite you and we'll openly welcome you to be a participant. But it sounds to me as though it's going to be exciting. Now, I may be from the old school, but I think I'm just as creative as you are, Mr. Bailey. So I'm going to create some stuff. And I was thinking about, you know, we celebrating Halloween. And I love them little signs, rest in peace. So we're going to rest oppression and oppression and depression. And we're going to put all of that and rest it in peace. And we're going to resurrect the 1 million for voters back into and welcome them back into our society. So they'll be able to serve in their capacity and in this community. We're going to say new footprints in the muck. Positive change is going to be made in Pahokee. Jobs going to be able to come alive, and people are going to become productive citizens. They will not no longer be on spring break. Get out of jail today, and there's nothing there for them to get because they got a felony. You can't get them a job. So they'll be able to be productive citizens. Thank you for this time, and do come to the party, to the poll.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for that announcement. Again, we have no new business. Now we're down to citizen comments and general concerns. City clerk, at this time, we have any citizen comment card?
We have two. The first one is from Ms. Joanne Culberson.
Joanne Culberson at 1621 East Main Street. First thing I want to ask about, since we just talked about the Ricky Jackson, is the mail teller sign up?
Have an update on that, City Manager?
No, sir.
Mail teller sign.
No, sir.
Well, then I'm gonna get, I don't want to use my 3 minutes on just stuff. I want to say exactly how I feel. I've got a lot of feeling with a lot of things that I hear in this community. I'm going to start off with this little thing I wrote. I want to say how I feel about the dike issue. Our attorney was not for it to start with. He brought up every issue he could to go against them that has never been brought up in the past with anyone. The city manager, when he was hired by this city to help bring development to our town, we thought he was the best to be hired. Well, now I don't feel that way. I feel like, yes, he's got us grant money, he's got all kind of stuff, but I don't see Pahokee going in the direction to get on its own. He has changed, wants to work by himself in everything he does. He's only a part of the community. We are the citizens and the other part. This was our second chance to get this group, and now all we are trying to do is push them out, is what I feel like. From when we started this, they were all in. Everybody was in on this. Now I feel like that I don't know if it's the city manager or all of y'all, but somebody's trying to push them out so that it's not anybody's fault and that they leave. The commission has not held anyone to the goals that we had. This group has tried to work and put in their input on things, and if they are going to be the ones running it, why is it that nobody will listen to them? Why go against them on everything now? Word out, and this is the word around Pahokee, that the city manager has lined up another group to do this. This is just things that I want to say. I want to, what stopped the work on the dock? What about the sanitation system? Is it up and operating? Is it properly running? Are the boats properly using it? What about the swimming pool, the gate, the internet, the maiden cane? If you'll drive down East Main Street, Beckham Point, why is the 1928 hurricane site look like that? It is grown high with all kinds. Does the city people cannot keep that lot cut? That's unbelievable. Also, I would like to know, why did the state meeting get canceled? The group paid for that meeting with the state, and that was helping with the city. City manager had the attorney cancel without permission of Lanford. Why does the attorney work? Who does the attorney work for? He just orders it and it gets stopped. Did y'all know that it was? It's off the agenda. Why? I want to talk about the social media part. This was brought up at a couple meetings ago. Social media is here to stay. Whether y'all like it or not, it's here. There's a lot of things on social media that shouldn't be. But yes, it's here. If it bothers you, get off of it. That's how I feel. I do not understand why the group that is told to stay away from up there, what has happened that all of a sudden we can't, they can't go up there. They're not involved. They've got money tied up in here. The plants are dying up there. Nobody's watering the plants.
Miss Joanne, if you could, those additional comments, I'm not sure where you are in your presentation.
I'm just jumping all over on a week's worth of what has pissed me off.
We would definitely like to receive those comments. If you can make a copy and give them to the city manager.
One of my things is if they say come to City Hall, you can get your information from City Hall. That is not true. You cannot go to City Hall and get information. You cannot get City Hall to call you. And I want to say the very last thing. If this deal falls through, I'm putting my house up for sale, just like the rest of these for sale signs that my daughter has in this town. If you look, there is a for sale sign all over this town. And I've lived here all my life. And people are leaving here because we don't know what we're getting, what we're doing. You take something and it turns into a big deal.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your comments.
One thing, just like the amendment for the truck. A semi is a semi. A tractor trailer is a tractor trailer. And now we got that on hold.
Thank you. City Clerk, are there any additional comments?
The last card is from Ms. Pearl Freeman.
Ms. Freeman.
My name is Pearl Freeman. I live 331 Banyan Avenue, Pahokee, Florida. I want to know if you all have put us away from the pier completely.
It's still under renovation. I guess the city manager addressed that when the possibility that pier may be reopened, or are there any time during the day able to fish?
Y'all told us when you first did it, it was gonna be 2 months. Now it's been 6 months.
He can
we
give
can't
us.
even go up on the lake to look at the water. We can't do none of that.
As I indicated, Mayor, in the last meeting, we hope to at least get the pier back open for our fishermen, probably late November. It hasn't changed since the last time I stated that, 2 weeks ago.
What did you say?
Late November.
Late November.
We're in October right now.
You can't hear me?
Shame. We are citizens of this town.
But ma'am, it's not about being a citizen, it's about finishing a project. So it's not about being a citizen.
They ain't doing nothing of that. What they done up there could have been done in 2 months.
That's your personal assessment. I'm not a contractor or an engineer, so, you know, we're gonna ensure that everything's completed and it's safe for citizens before we open it back up. So we're not keeping anyone away. It's construction.
That's a no shame.
So, you know, hopefully we get it open by late November. That's the plan.
Late November.
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all barring us away from the deck completely. That's what
No,
you're doing.
it's not barring, ma'am. It's construction. It's renovation.
Before. It has happened like this before. Somebody come in and say they got the pier. When they get the pier, when they leave, y'all got to pay them to leave in all this kind of stuff.
No one has the
this
pier
is
on
not
the
right.
pier.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Pearl. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any additional comments?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll now move to the comments, correspondence concern of the city commissioners. Commissioner Walker.
Let me go last, please. Let me go last, please. Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervyn.
Well, Mayor, I don't have much to say, but just listening to the comments that's being made, a lot of the false comments that's being made. But I would ask that if we was to do a workshop. I will ask for a workshop on this, the marina, so the right information would get out to our citizens, and they would know exactly what is actually going on. Ms. Pearl, as it addressed to you, no, it's not keeping no one away from it. There is projects that are happening up there on the marina. It is under construction. So, but I would ask, and Mary, I would like to put forth a motion if I could, that we will hold a workshop and that you will schedule a date for it, and that we can really get the information out there to our citizens on exactly what is going on up on the marina. So you will know the lines and what's going on. A lot of false information is out there, and a lot of information that the citizens don't know what's behind the scene. And I think it all just need to be out there so we will all know where we stand, and the citizens, and I think it's by right that they know exactly what's going on. Because I do agree, it is the community, and the community need to know what's actually happening up there on the marina. So Mayor, I would like to make a motion, if I could, that if we can see what day, that we can have a workshop on this, the Marina project. And so we can get the information out there to our citizens on what's happening on the Marina. So we can squash some of the hearsay and stuff that's going on out there.
If they doing so much work up there, when you go up there, why can't you see somebody work?
Can we
That's mine.
have a motion on the floor? I entertain a second.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Walker that the city hold a workshop to discuss the issues dealing with the marina, to give information out to the community so we're all basically on the same page. We'll direct our city attorney, our city manager to provide us with a date that he can share information and entertain questions and comments and concerns from the community if there are any. We have a motion now in the discussion. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to hold a workshop passes by unanimous 3-0 vote. At this time, City Manager, I don't know if you can have a date in mind or you need to come back.
I need to come back
Set
with
the
that.
date.
But the city manager weren't gonna be over the workshop as far as the discussion, so we need to allow him to kind of
We should
make
be.
sure his schedule permitted. But go and make your comment, Commissioner
No,
Walker.
that's okay, because I don't understand why we allow him, and no oh Lord Jesus, no disrespect, but we are
Okay.
responsible to set the date.
Okay, let's do this. Normally, we have like an open calendar for Tuesday because we have regular commission meeting on the 2nd and 4th. I'll just make a suggestion. What about next Tuesday at 6 o'clock? And when we put a date out there, if he kind of disagree with it, we need to at least put that into consideration. But maybe we can look at next week, Tuesday, if that's not a conflict date of anything. Could you look at your calendars quickly and see if that's an appropriate date next Tuesday?
You usually get the dates of Monday.
Now, we normally do it on Tuesday, but if you want to do it on
Really?
Monday, yeah.
Oh,
But if you want to do it Monday, it's fine. I
doesn't
don't have a
matter.
problem with
Doesn't
either
matter
Monday.
me.
What's your preference?
It doesn't matter, Monday or Tuesday.
We'll do Monday if that's fine with you, Commissioner Walker.
Mhm.
Okay, Monday. What date is that?
29th.
The 29th at 6 o'clock. City Manager, that date you think will work with you? Ma'am, let's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, ain't nobody working up there. Ain't nobody working up there. Put it, they ain't gonna be at 6 o'clock, you know. But if you put the meeting at 2 o'clock, go there ain't nobody working, then you know, ain't nobody working.
No, we're trying to have a meeting or workshop where the public
Workshop.
is able to attend. So we have it in the middle of the day, like 2 o'clock. Most people won't be able to be here. And then we have commissioners who work. So we're just trying to we consistently meet at 6. So we're looking at Monday, the 29th at 6 p.m. here in the chamber to have a workshop to discuss the marina operations and status.
Is this the public too?
Yes, ma'am. It's a public meeting. Let me finish this motion and
We make a motion.
we made a motion and seconded.
You did.
29th, we have the date. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Who was the motion by? We did it one.
The motion was made by Vice Mayor Mervin, second by Commissioner Walker, to hold a workshop Monday, October the 29th at 6 p.m. here in the chamber. Hearing no question, ready for vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to have a workshop on Monday, the 29th of October at 6 p.m. passes.
Does the turning need to be together?
Yes.
Okay.
He said he would be here. Thank
Okay,
you.
I didn't know. Okay, thank you.
All right. You can continue, Vice Mayor Mervin, unless you're finished.
I'm done, Mayor, that's.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Walker.
Oh, Lord. I'm not going to make any comments tonight, but I'm going to leave with quite a few concerns, and I will address them during the retreat. And I hope we will be able to come with other agreement with a way to address my concern, other concern, you all concerned, whatever, because the future of Pahokee is at stake, and we all need to work together to make Pahokee a better place, a great place for everybody, each of us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to inform you all tonight that I'm not going to fall for I'm not going to re-election next year. I'm not going to re-election next year because I want the best for Pahokee, and I can't right now. I can't do our city justice. I love Pahokee, and I want the best for Pahokee, and I don't want Pahokee be a failure for my before me. I want to, anyway, I'll say some more things to you all at the end of my end of my term. But right now, as of today, I will be not seeking for re-election for the sake of Pahokee. Because I love Pahokee, I love the people, but I gotta help myself, my health, and I want the Pahokee to be a great city that it is, and I love. You know, this has been a hard decision for me to make, but it's been over 2 years now, and I've tried to hang it out, but God has given me the strength to go on, and I thank Him for that. But I know He gives me a sense enough to when I know it's time for me to look out for myself.
That's right.
And I love each other.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm going to end right now, right now. because like I say it again, this has been a hard decision for me to make. 11 years, almost 11 years, I've committed to the city and the citizens of this community. And I love what I do. I love people. I love the people. Thank you, baby. I love the people. I love this community. But I want my devotion be, I want my devotion to be,
To your health.
what'd you say?
To your health.
My health, yes. and I really have not elected myself, but I did. Anyway, I just want you to know that I love Pahokee, I love you all, but I have to take care of myself and do the best thing for myself and for the city of Pahokee.
Yes.
I love you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Walker. Remember, we're having a retreat starting Friday from 1 to 5 and Saturday morning from 9 to 4. You're welcome to come and observe our retreat if you like. We just welcome you to do that. Ms. Joanne, apologize, during certain periods of the commission meeting, we have to cut off comments and finish taking care of the business at hand. Thank you, and this meeting is adjourned.
You did good. You did good.